All you really need to do is make the decision. That's all it comes down to. Making a decision and also making a conscious effort to consistently stand on that decision, no matter whatever comes to try to knock you off of that decision. This is what makes or breaks whether you maintain or even obtaining what you want.
All right, man, welcome back to another video. Hope your day is going good. In today's video, the art of consistency. Now, this video is by my boy Alex the Virgo. This is something we actually spoke at length about. So I'm actually kind of curious to hear what he's saying in this video. Like, Roski.
One thing I can say about consistency is you slowly get better over time.
Sir, let's see.
When you in your grinding stage, like that hunger is different. It's about if you can maintain it or not. Like that hunger that you get is like a different type of, like, I don't know what it is. Like all I wanted to do was just work. So once you get that in you, like it's just like you can't stop. So I gotta keep my head focused, stay on the right path, and just execute every time.
When people come to me and say, give me one piece of advice, I say be consistent. Like that's so cliche, but like in 3 months, if you posting on YouTube like consistently, like YouTube will throw your videos into this like the topic that you're in, and then it'll push like to the masses of that topic.
But some days you get a little down, a little disappointed, a little discouraged, a little frustrated, because you like, this shit just ain't happening fast enough, this shit not coming fast enough, is it ever gonna come? You get depressed. I'm gonna tell you like this, do not fucking stop. Whatever you do, don't quit.
This man inserted himself in everything J. Cole is saying.
Don't stop, don't give up. That'll be the worst mistake you ever fucking make. You'll regret that shit forever. It's not no overnight. This is a step-by-step process. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. That's how this shit works.
Consistency is the key to life. Say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. Consistency is the key to life. See, at first, I never really understood what people meant when they said to find success, you gotta be consistent. It was one of those cliche terms in my head that I automatically undervalued due to its simplicity. But I saw a quote one day that read, "The keys to life, the knowledges of God are simple. They are so simple, in fact, that they could be understood by a child. So simple that it can be seen all throughout nature. So simple, in fact, that us human beings, having such an egotistical nature, that we can't even see its power when it's right in our faces due to our egos." What do I mean by this, you wonder? Well, let me explain the art of consistency.
I just wanted, before he even gets off and starts off, man, there is so much power in just the simplicity of what he's saying. Bro, you will learn something today. I promise you. You will learn something today that you thought you understood as a child, but because of your maturity and your newfound steps that you're taking in life, it takes a new profound, don't let that go over your head.
When I say consistency, I don't just mean aimlessly dropping 50 mixtapes on SoundCloud. I don't mean uploading random YouTube videos or doing random workouts in the gym. I want to make it clear that I do not mean working hard in the slightest fashion whatsoever. When I say consistency, I mean in mindset. You need to consistently be in a mindset that goes with the goal you have at hand. Because whatever you consistently think, feel, and believe about yourself is what you will ultimately align yourself with and attract. For instance, you ever heard of the term, you attract what you are? Toxic people just always seem to find themselves in relationships and environments with other toxic people. Well, that reason is simply due to not only do you attract what you are, but also whatever you are is naturally what you feel inclined to do. A person who is toxic will make decisions that will always put them in toxic situations. The same way that if you grew up poor, you will always find yourself making poor financial.
Let me tell y'all this, dog. I ain't putting no pride in this shit. A lot of this shit that I came to understand, I'm just grateful that I understand it now. You know, that shit puts a smile on my face that I get it now. But imagine we started YouTube, right? You're watching this reaction channel, you're watching this reaction video, and maybe this is your first time getting to know us from reaction. But we've been doing so much other stuff. We've been doing public interviews. We've been doing a podcast. We've been up, down, every which way you can look. You feel me? And I thought, oh, I just got to keep posting. I got to keep posting every week. I can't miss. I got to keep posting. But then somewhere in the back of my mind, I started to think, damn, bro, is this shit even gonna work? Sometimes I go to the podcast, I'm thinking, damn, bro, it's not even really who I really am. You think something like that's gonna take off? No, it's not. You know why? Because I was misunderstanding what consistency was. You don't just show up every day. You gotta show up whether you feel like it. You don't down yourself. You understand that you're a human being. You have emotions. You embrace those emotions. And you still say, yeah, my nigga, despite that it's this, I'm still finna do this. This is just one of them hiccup moments.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's how you gotta move.
So decisions that will keep you in a poor state. And the same goes for whenever you have a wealthy abundance mindset. You will always make the decisions that will keep you wealthy.
Fact, I'll even go further. I know I'm pausing this a lot. It's a little yap, but I'm making my point. Roski, when we started this reaction channel, what did I say to you? When we started this reaction videos, what did I say? I said, this shit finna blow up. That's what you heard me say, right? Before we even talked to Alex, before we even went on this whole journey. I told you this is the one. This is the wave. See why manifestation is real? I didn't even understand that shit. You know what I'm saying?
And abundant. So this is why it is so important to be constantly checking and nurturing where you want your reality to be. Because it doesn't matter how hard you work at being a winner if you consistently have the thoughts, feelings, and inner compass of a loser. So the first rule of the art of consistency is consistency in mindset. You need to consistently align and feed your mind, soul with thoughts and beliefs that validate who you say you are and what you say you want. And I know you're probably wondering, well, how do I do that? And it's simple. Join my mastermind coaching program for $2,000. I'm just playing. It's really simple. I'm gonna be honest. All you really need to do is make the decision. That's all it comes down to. Making a decision and also making a conscious effort to consistently stand on that decision, no matter whatever comes to try to knock you off of that decision. This is what makes or breaks whether you maintain or even obtaining what you want. An example I love to use is Kendrick Lamar. See, most people really only got hip to K-Dot because of the recent Drake versus him beef, right? Or whenever his music became more listenable to a wider audience with his whole Damn album. But long before the world knew Kendrick Lamar as the superstar he is today, he was literally the exact same as he is today. A man rapping about what he believes in, the world he comes from, the people in it, and how it affected all of them.
3 of my homeboys that summertime, was murdered. You know, close ones too, not just somebody that I hear about. These people I grew up with. So it all psychologically it messes your brain up because you live in this life. You know what I'm saying? But you still have to face realities of this. I got to get back off that tour bus and go to these funerals, and go talk to my moms and talk to their aunties, the kids that from my sister to my little cousins and to other siblings around me that's coming up. How can I be a voice for all these people around the world and can't reach them like I want to? And they're the closest to me.
He built his whole brand upon this. He was not a voice of self-righteousness, but rather a voice of authenticity.
Through my music, I want to make sure that's the legacy, showing people how to communicate, and it's okay, if you're not perfect.
I always said to myself, if I said it on record, I never retract my statements. Because it's my self-expression.
Putting these records out is a gift for me because I'm not only a voice for myself, but I'm a voice for people who can't express themselves like that.
All I can do is continue to be.
One big thing I take away from K-Dot, man, what always inspired me was he never acted like a thug. He came from a thug environment, and he really showed you that you don't have to be where you come from. You know what I'm saying? And he always stayed true to that. It's so easy for the world to tell, oh yeah, K-Dot, hold up that gun. You know what I'm saying? Go to the neighborhood, talk shit about them niggas who killed your family. He could have did all that.
An actual human being and then to show them that I go through the same emotions and the same feelings that y'all go through. So if they put that as being the leader of this generation, then so be it, because all I can do is express myself and hope you know take something from it. And I think that's my biggest connection with my audience and why it connects the way it do.
And since this was a decision that he made early on in his career to consistently stay true to himself and not being afraid to follow his heart regardless of how others feel, it was fairly easy for him to stand on this. And while it initially stunted his career a little bit, not being as digestible to mainstream audiences because of it, he still consistently brought quality and standed on that decision. And obviously, as we know of today, it ultimately paid off.
I want to keep doing it every time, period. And to do it every time, you have to challenge yourself and you have to confirm to yourself, not anybody else, confirm to yourself that you're the best. No one can take that away from me, period. And that's my drive, that's my hunger I will always have.
And it's really
That boy just said it best, man. To be consistent, you gotta make that decision within yourself, bro. You can't be consistent because of anything that's external. Start from within.
that simple. Like literally, I can't be more like specific or more in detail about this. You don't have to climb Mount Everest or some random unnecessary 20 years meditation to find success, peace, or anything else in life. It is all in you. Pause. Nothing is outside of you. God gave you everything. Let me say that again. God gave you everything you need to accomplish, acquire, and maintain anything you want at any given period in time. And that's because everything you need is internal. It's really just a matter of while
Didn't I just say that?
staying consistently in your mindsets and goals, will you become swayed in the age of distractions and algorithms and ultimately stop being consistent with yourself. This is why on the opposite side of the beef, Drake lost and the overall public perception of him over the years has changed. While yes, it is partially just due to this nigga doing a lot of activities.
So apparently in the book, there's that part in the book where you say that he came in and told you that he had smashed one of your girls.
Oh, when he
yeah.
wrapped up? Oh, I wasn't worried about that. I mean, you know, I was just, you know, that's just how life go when you locked up.
The thing that ultimately ended Drake's run as being the golden boy, the chosen, most loved and respected, was him losing his consistency. Not necessarily in his work. Well, actually, yeah, let's be honest, it was his work too.
Say that you a lesbian, girl, me too. Hey, girls want girls where I'm from. Hey.
But this was all merely just a byproduct of something already brewing underneath the surface. Up until about 2018, there wasn't a single project, feature, even commercial that Drake was in that didn't bang. For that 10-year period, Drake quite literally owned the game. And it was all due to him not only dropping some of the most consistent and greatest projects to ever grace our ears, but it was also because he was consistently dropping quality projects in such a time frame that was ultimately unheard of. I mean, this nigga damn near had a platinum album or song of the summer every single year. And this was mainly due to Drake coming into the game.
One thing about it, bro, when you're being consistent, you gotta consistently get better. You can't decline on the quality of the work that you're putting out and expect to have the best results.
With the mindset he wanted to be the best. He made a decision that he was coming for the crown. He didn't care how anybody felt, and he consistently felt like that. He consistently thought he was the best. So guess what? He acted and made decisions that would turn him into the best.
Just like kind of woke up one day like, yo, this is my time. This is my this is my thing. I run this, you know, like nobody can really talk to me. I'm good at what I do, and you know, I'm ready for anything really, you know, and whatever it is, whether it's a one dance or whether it's know yourself or whether it's energy or.
And that's the other rule of the art of consistency. When you make that decision, then and only then do you do the work. It's not just consistency that gains you success, but it's consistency in the right things. Drake knew exactly who he was making music for and consistently brought that audience exactly what they wanted to hear. A lot of us artists have such big egos and we go, I want it to be so artistic, I want it to be so perfect and to have so much depth and substance. But the truth of the matter is the average audience listener doesn't really even notice these things. But Drake didn't care about none of that. He just cared about consistently showing up and being on your playlist, on your screen, wherever it was, and just giving you something to vibe to. And that's ultimately what gave him the crown.
My uncle always told me something early in my life which stuck with me, which is that while you're on the journey, you have to disconnect from the end goal, you know? Because if you're just focused on some end goal, then you might get there, but it'll be hard to progress past that because you're so focused on that one destination that it's like, you know, you maybe forget everything in between, and maybe you could have done more in between. He always told me, like, just be here right now, live right now, and do the best you can right now.
Consistency is the key to life. When you make the decision and consistently show up and nurture the thoughts and feelings associated with that decision, the actions you take will naturally align with that to get you to where you need to go. So stop working hard just for the sake of working hard. Stop just being consistent in a bunch of random things, and be consistent in the right things from the right place. Once you do that,
Facts. Oh my God.
then will you really start to see your work pay off, because that's the art of consistency. With that, I'm Virgo. Subscribe to my page, drop a like, and comment how this video made you feel. I love to see your guys' feedback and amazing positive messages. Share this video with your friends, maybe rewatching times when you need it.
Yeah,
Do it.
man. Shout out to Alex the Virgo, bro. He broke it down very well. These are actually some of the things we spoke on. So yeah, man, there's no cap in this shit, man. Like, for y'all who out here just trying to figure things out, just stay consistent. Find out what you love to do as a child and do it. Now, did I think I was gonna want to do YouTube videos? Well, yeah, the evidence is there. If you look on YouTube, I've been doing YouTube since I was in high school. You know what I'm saying? It's just that I didn't put the consistency in the right place. And now we are, you know what I'm saying? T-Raw.
Yeah, that last part hit a little bit different, man. Can't focus on the end goal when you're being. Gotta just focus on the journey and becoming better, little by little, 1% at a time.
All right, you see, T-Raw just said something about the end goal. My only thing I want to add in here is something I've recently picked up. Move from the end and not like you're trying to achieve the end. Meaning, I'm not saying that you fixate on your end goal, but if you're somebody who's trying to be a multi-millionaire businessman, you have to have in your head, I'm already this multi-millionaire businessman, so how do I need to move? How does a multi-billionaire businessman move? You envision these thoughts of how you would move as a multi-billionaire man after you find out what it is to move like that, right? So you integrate that into your thoughts, you start moving like that, and eventually, I promise you, you're gonna hit that goal. Reality is what you think it is. So if you don't think you're gonna be a millionaire, you will never be that. So you have to first become that, assimilate that. That's why they say fake it till you make it. That's what it truly means. It's everything in life. You have to become what you're trying to be. All right. That being said, man, we made it to the end of another video. I love y'all. Grateful y'all, man. Binge the rest of the videos on the channel. You already know we're gonna catch y'all in the next one.